All right, let's look at how we can use the MathFacts worksheet generator to create some worksheets using integers. This might be helpful for students who are in a pre-algebra course. As always, we're going to start with the MathFacts worksheet generator dialog box. So I'll give this a quiz number, and I'll put in a number of problems, in this case 100. Now for this quiz, I'm going to show you how we can do adding integers. And what's going to be key is choosing your numbers properly. So for the first number here, I'm actually going to choose -10 to +10. And for the second number, I'm also going to use -10 to +10. And so this could add numbers anywhere from -10 to +10 together. So at times it might be adding two negative numbers. At times it might be adding negative and a positive. And at times, just mixed in, it might be adding two positive numbers. Now, one thing you'll notice when you put a range like this in is that one of the numbers could be 0. And we're just going to assume that students are pretty bright and are going to know that any number added to 0 is itself. So if you want to exclude 0 from problems, you're just going to click this checkbox right here, exclude 0 from problems, and 0 will not be one of the numbers that is added together on this worksheet. So I think that's probably a good option to choose for this worksheet. Click OK. And as always, it's going to create your worksheet and your answer key. And here's our answer key. So you can see some of the range of answers there. And here is our worksheet. And you'll notice that, as we said, we've got some problems that are positive plus a negative, some that are both negative, and some that are both positive, all mixed together. Of course, you don't have to choose just numbers between -10 and 10. You could choose, if students are a little more advanced, you could choose numbers into the teens, just to make it a little more challenging. Okay, let's also look at a worksheet where we do the subtraction of integers. I'll put in a quiz number and the number of problems. Of course, for operations, I'm going to choose subtraction. And like before, I'm going to choose a range of -10 to 10 for the first number and -10 to 10 for the second number. As I did last time, I'm going to exclude 0 from problems because I don't want any problems where they have to subtract 0 from any number. But I also am going to click on Allow Negative Answers for Subtraction. If you don't click on this, you might still have some negative numbers in the problem, but you won't have any negative answers because by default, the subtraction operation is designed for primary school subtraction facts. And so it tries to make sure that there are no answers that are negative. But you want to click this if you are doing an integers worksheet. Let's click OK and create our worksheet and answer key. Okay, our worksheet and answer key are done. Here's our answer key, so you get a sense of the range of answers. And let's look at our worksheet. So you're going to see all the different possibilities here. So at times you're going to see, as in this problem right here, the subtraction of a negative number. And so the student will have to know to subtract a negative, you need to add a positive. You'll see here a negative subtracting a positive. Here you'll see an example of just two positive numbers, but of course 4 minus 8 is going to lead to a negative answer. And then you'll see times where, like down here, you have a negative subtracted from another negative. And so just randomly, it's going to create all of the different types of problems that you might get when you are learning the subtraction of integers. Just for good measure, I want to show you that you can also mix addition and subtraction when you are working on an integers worksheet. Put a quiz number in and the number of problems. I'm going to choose for operations addition and subtraction. And as in the other examples, I'm going to choose -10 to 10, but you could do something a little bit higher or lower if you wanted. And like the other examples, I'm going to allow negative answers if it's a subtraction problem, and I'm going to exclude 0 from the problems. Let's make this worksheet and answer key. Okay, that's done. So let's go up to our worksheet and see what it looks like. Wow, this is great. So take a look at this. You've got a mixture of addition and subtraction problems. And this would be a really robust review for any students that are new to adding and subtracting integers. You've just got every single type of problem, every type of scenario, and you could make an unlimited number of this type of quiz or worksheet. So you could make 10 or 15 of these, and you would have plenty of material to review again and again and again these concepts. You can also change the number ranges. And so if there were some students that were struggling, maybe you keep the numbers, to between 1 and 5, just to make sure they're getting the concept. If you've got some more advanced students, it's very easy to create a worksheet where maybe the numbers are going up to 20 or even 30, and you can really check out how good their mental math is. So with this worksheet generator, when it comes to integers, you can make a lot of great worksheets to work with your students. Okay, so let's also look at how we can use the MathFacts worksheet generator to create multiplying integers worksheets. Here is our dialog box. Let's put in a quiz number and the number of problems. I'm going to choose multiplication for the operation. Now for the first number, assuming that they've learned their multiplication tables up to their 12s, I'm going to choose -12 to 12. And then for the second number, I'm also going to choose -12 to 12. Just like the addition and subtraction of integers worksheets, I'm going to exclude 0 from problems. I don't feel like there's any need for them to test multiplication by 0. Click OK to create your worksheet and answer key. Okay, and this is what we got. So let's take a look at this worksheet. You'll see there's, again, a nice mix. We've got some problems of a negative times a negative. We've got some problems of a negative times a positive, and we've got some just standard problems of a positive times a positive. So this is really going to test that they understand how those rules work for signs and multiplication. And let's similarly look at a dividing integers worksheet here. I'll give this a quiz number. Put in the number of problems, choose division. Now, just like the normal division MathFacts worksheets, you're not actually going to put in the dividend here. You're going to put in the divisor and the quotient. So I'm going to put here from -12 to 12, just like the multiplication of integers worksheet that we just saw. And second number, -12 to 12. I'm going to exclude 0 from problems and then hit OK to generate the worksheet. Okay, let's move up to the top. And just like before, you see we've got a good mix of negative-positive combinations, negative-negative combinations, and even some positive-positive combinations. And finally, let's look at a mixed multiplication and division of integers worksheet. Put in a quiz number. Number of problems. I'm going to choose multiplication and division for operations, and I'm going to do the exact same parameters that I used before. I'm going to exclude 0 and make my worksheet. Okay, that's completed. We can go up here and take a look. And that is going to give students a nice little review of their multiplication and division facts, and also make sure that they understand the rules for multiplying and dividing negative and positive numbers.